What a great week. Andy Ryan's 10th anniversary of ever coming here, and 60 guys show up. It was brilliant. Got it done. Really enjoyed it. I've no beer tonight. I got some vomiting bug. The young lad Phoenix is going to a play group just to interact with kids, and he's just turning into a petri dish of germs. So he's coming back sick all the fucking time. So I was looking after him yesterday, and he had a winter I think it's a winter vomit. It's a 24-hour vomiting bug that a few of the kids have got, and then lo and behold, 4 a.m. I start puking. So I haven't eaten today, so no beer. I wanted to do a video. I'm editing the Andy Ryan's video, which is I'm happy with it so far, but I'm just too bollocks to do it today, so it's late. So I decided to make a video because something great happened yesterday, and I wanted to talk about mediocre and exceptional and the difference. And a lot of people praise mediocre, and I was at an Edo Portal seminar a year or two ago in Dublin, and Edo and myself have become good friends over the years, and he asked me to come along, and I said, hey, listen, can I shoot some video at it? So he said, yeah. So I shot some video at it, and we paired everybody off for some exercise that we're doing, and you tend to, that was great. They were doing stuff with sticks where someone's moving a stick or you're moving around them. It happens more so with guys and girls, where the guy's like, hey, that was brilliant, that was good, that was fantastic, that was this. And Edo jumped in and he said, stop praising mediocre. It wasn't good, it wasn't great, it was none of those things. It was mediocre at best. Be honest with the person. And I thought it was brilliant. And he has a very unique way of teaching. He owns a room. And it's a great skill to try and learn from somebody if you can see what that actually is.
There we go. Shame on you. You're not doing a good job, I'll tell you. And this way we can actually make progress. I'm not here to give you a nice back massage. But I'm also not here to abuse you in any form. I'm just interested in the growth. The growth includes this. And it's something that we need in our lives more and more.
He doesn't teach a class, he owns it. He owns the room. He makes you go through fire. He gets the whole room involved. And it's a great skill. And I really enjoy that. But what I learned most about that weekend was the not praising mediocre and only praising exceptional. Praising work as well. I mean, people put in the work and they show up and they do the work and are consistent, and good things will happen. If you don't, you won't. You get what you put in. It's just the way it is. But an interesting thing happened on the way to the moon.
The event in human history most associated with pride in our own accomplishments. Landing on the moon. 20 years later, and years behind schedule, the same space program couldn't put into Earth orbit a telescope with a lens that focused. And yet 2 decades earlier, a mission 100 times more complicated worked on its first occasion. With close scrutiny of the motives of the zealous Nixon administration, a critical examination of the entirely government-controlled press coverage, and newly discovered footage of the crew of Apollo 11 staging part of their mission, we wish to detail what may come to be the greatest government conspiracy of all time. A funny thing happened on the way to the moon.
That's a movie if you haven't seen it. It's about the moon landing. And the first time I ever heard the moon landing was a hoax. I was going out with a surf experience for surf day, and Max was with me. And the guy who was the surf instructor so happened to be a physicist. But he obviously wasn't into being a physicist, so he ended up being a surf instructor. And him and Max got into this argument about the moon landings. And what the guy said was interesting. He said, look, your phone now is far more powerful than the computers that they had back in 1968 or 69 or whatever it was. And to think that they put a bunch of guys on a rocket, blasted them up, landed on space, went around playing golf, got back on the yoke, and they all got home fucking scot-free. He says, maybe they might have landed, but there's no fucking way they got back again. And it started me thinking, yeah, maybe. It was a lot more to it. Anyway, I diverse. Yeah, something exceptional happened yesterday, which was there was an Olympic lifting competition in Cork, and some people know her as Caroline. I know her as Star, and she did something phenomenal, exceptional yesterday, which was throw 100 kilos over her head and get the fuck underneath it and lift it. And I'd say out of like some sporting moments get you, like probably biggest two would be Eamon Cochran winning the 5,000 metres track World Championships. I don't know what year that was. I had the picture on my wall when I was a kid. And Eamon Cochran was this great runner, but he never really ran in Ireland he ran on the American circuit on the boards, they call it, this indoor track. It was all like the boarded tracks, and he used to like win, very fast finisher, world mile indoor record he was. And he never really he was very American, like he was real, he didn't look Irish, he was like tan and handsome and, he's, stylish, and he was in the 5,000 metres. I remember watching it, and the guy who was leading, coming up to the back straight had taken off, and then all of a sudden Eamon closed the gap on him, and he comes up beside him, and he looks at the guy on the second to last bend, and he just goes like that. He's there, he's kind of looks at the guy like, I fucking have you, and then just took off. And that picture I have of him coming up beside, on the outside of the guy, without even taking off at like 200 metres to go, looks at him and goes like that to him. And it was brilliant.
Cochran looking back for Bessinghauer, and Cochran's closing very, very quickly. Bessinghauer's a long way behind now. Now, if Cochran doesn't panic and go too soon, he's got a real chance. It's Cochran against Dimitriev. Faino beginning to come through. But will Cochran wait? Because if he does, he's the world indoor mile record holder. He's a very fast finisher. He doesn't need to go too soon. And he did check back and look inside. The attacking point will come off the bend, and he looks at Dimitriev and says, watch me go! And go he does! Eamon Cochran on his way to a major title for the first time in his life. Brilliantly run. The champion of the world. Childar second. And who got third? Faino or Dimitriev?
It was one of those, like sometimes sporting events get you. And then the other one was Stephen Roche winning the World Championships in 1987. He'd won the Tour de France, he'd won the Tour of Italy, and only one other rider had won all three, which was the World Championships, so it's Eddie Merckx. But Roche decided to ride for Sean Kelly, who was another Irish rider at the time. He was the best in the world. The circus suited Kelly, and all day Roche chased everything back for Kelly to get to the finish so he could win. And with about 3 kilometres to go, there's a split, and Kelly misses it, and Roche is in it, and he's waiting for Kelly to close the gap, and it doesn't. And he attacks with like fucking 400 metres to go, and no one has the legs to go with him, and he wins. And it was like, it was super emotional, It just made me kind of, well up.
And the gap is closing yet again from the back. There's a chance this could happen right on the line. Bauer being trailed by Sean Kelly. Bauer looks over his shoulder as the riders make the turn up to the finish now. We've got Sorensen on the front, Guido Winterberg at the back, and it looks like Roche is making the go early. Roche has made the go for the line. Oh my goodness me, Stephen Roche has gone. If this happens, Stephen Roche could be the winner of this race, the Tour de France, Tour of Italy. Can it be possible? The only man who's ever done this in the world before is Eddie Merckx, and Stephen Roche is going to get it for Ireland. This is the most marvellous result one could ever hope for. The only English-speaking rider ever to win the Tour of Italy, the second English-speaking rider to win the Tour de France, and now it's going to be the World Championship for Stephen Roche. is the champion of the world, only the second man ever to win the 3 major races in the world in the history of cycling. These two marvellous, marvellous cyclists from Ireland.
Yesterday, Star decided to do this. She told me she was going to do 100, and she started off at 90, and it was a wobbly 90. She threw the 90 up and kind of went back on the heels and saved it and got up. Then she missed 94. So you get 3 lifts, and then she called up for the bar to be 100. And I was thinking, shit, I was watching it live on YouTube, and I was thinking, shit, she struggled on the 90. How's she going to get a fucking 100 overhead? And she had never got it, ever. And I've been watching the progress of how much effort she's been putting into chasing this thing. And she came out, everyone's kind of quiet because it's, compared to what everybody else was doing, it was next level. And does the normal thing, hits the bar with her shin, moves it out, sits down, switches on.
Come on! Come on, Caroline.
Big pull, let's go.
And she throws the bar up and pulls herself underneath that 100 kilos. Just as it comes up, you got to pull yourself under the bar before it comes back down again. And that takes some balls, that takes some courage to be able to jump under a bar that's coming down, that weighs 100 kilos, and catch it. And she caught it.
Hold it!
But she just smiled, and I knew she had it. And it was exceptional. Brilliant. It's a short one today. I just wanted to put that out, that top 3 sports moments, even though no one saw of all time. It's in there, and I salute you. Till the next one, Hare Krishna, we are all one. 100 fucking kilos over your head in the snatch. Wow. Hare Krishna.